Do you feel fatigued by midday? Do you notice that your energy isn't what it was 10 or 20 years ago? If you're a man who has crossed the 50-year mark, you've probably experienced a subtle but steady change in your stamina, mental clarity, and, frankly, your vitality. Perhaps your hands and feet are colder, or maybe that vascular firmness you took for granted has begun to diminish. Most men simply attribute this to age and continue drinking plain water, believing it's enough. But today I tell you in all honesty, if your goal is to have the energy and circulation of a man 20 years younger, drinking plain water is no longer sufficient. Your body now needs tools, not just hydration. I am Dr. Elena Castillo. I have dedicated my professional life to understanding the unique challenges older adults face, especially in the area of vascular longevity and vitality. For decades, I have listened to men who feel frustrated because they believe potency and stamina are a thing of the past. Today, I'm not going to offer you a miracle pill, but rather a truth backed by science and the experience of thousands of patients who, like you, were looking for a practical and affordable way to regain their inner strength. I understand your struggle. I know what it means to want to stay active and strong for your family. My goal today is to give you the tools to stop fighting age and start working with your body's wisdom. I assure you, your circulation, your potency, and your mind deserve more than just pure water. Let me introduce you to the true star of our conversation, the chemical messenger that defines your vitality after 50, nitric oxide, or simply NO. Think of NO as the conductor of your circulatory system. When you're young, your endothelial cells, the inner lining of your blood vessels, readily produce NO in large quantities. NO's job is simple yet vital. It tells the muscles surrounding your arteries to relax. This causes vasodilation, the opening and widening of your blood vessels. Imagine a hose that suddenly widens, allowing water to flow with much greater pressure and speed. That's what NO does for your blood. Optimal blood flow means more oxygen reaching your brain for that mental clarity you crave, more nutrients to your muscles for rapid recovery, and crucially, better flow throughout your body to maintain the firmness and stamina that are synonymous with male power. As NO flows, you feel unstoppable. Here comes the difficult part. The crisis we face after 50, which science has thoroughly documented. As the decades go by, the factory that produces this vital gas begins to fail. The key enzyme responsible for creating nitric oxide, called ENOS, endothelial nitric oxide synthase, begins to fatigue and decrease in efficiency. To make matters worse, oxidative stress, that silent rust that damages cells, increases and attacks, rapidly destroying what little NO we manage to produce. It's as if your internal factory starts receiving defective raw materials, and at the same time, your main machines are breaking down. The result of this downward spiral is gradual but inevitable. Your arteries, no longer receiving the constant signal to relax, become stiffer and narrower. The flow goes from being a highway to a congested country road. Your heart and body have to work much harder to push the blood through these narrowed pathways. That's why the fatigue that wasn't there before becomes chronic. It's not a lack of willpower or discipline. It's a physical reality. It's the crisis in nitric oxide production manifesting as low energy, cold hands, and diminishing stamina. And here we return to the myth of simple hydration. Many of my patients, well-intentioned men, would tell me, "Doctor, I drink 2 liters of water a day, I'm perfectly hydrated, so why do I still feel tired?" The answer is crucial, and I want you to understand it. Water is the vehicle, but it's not the fuel or the raw material. You can have the best tanker truck, your vascular system, and plenty of fuel, water. But if the factory, your endothelial cells, doesn't have the right building blocks to produce nitric oxide, production stops. To reignite that spark of NO production, the body needs specific precursors. We're talking about essential amino acids, such as L-arginine and L-citrulline, and high-quality dietary nitrates. These are the elements your body converts into nitric oxide. If you only drink water, all you're doing is diluting what little blood flow is available. you're not giving your body the biochemical tools it needs to fight oxidation or reopen arteries that have narrowed with age. The real solution requires a strategic nutritional intervention that directly reactivates the nitric oxide pathway, giving your body the raw material it has stopped producing efficiently. It's not just about quenching your thirst, it's about reconfiguring vascular communication. And the good news is that this reconfiguration is entirely possible and much simpler than you might think. And the good news is that this reconfiguration is entirely possible and much simpler than you might imagine. Now, let's talk about the first fundamental ingredient for dismantling this wall of vascular aging, what I have called the master brick for flow restoration, beetroot powder, known for its very high concentration of natural nitrates. Why emphasize beetroot when there are so many L-arginine supplements on the market? This is a vital distinction you need to understand. As we age, the crucial enzyme that converts L-arginine into nitric oxide, called ENOS, endothelial nitric oxide synthase, becomes sluggish, damaged, and much less efficient due to chronic oxidative stress. If you simply try to inject more L-arginine into a system where the conversion factory, ENOS, is failing, you're wasting gunpowder on a rifle that won't fire. It's like trying to repair a worn-out engine using aviation gasoline. The raw material is good, but if the engine isn't running, the performance won't improve. Beetroot offers an elegant and powerful biological bypass solution. Beetroot is incredibly rich in naturally occurring dietary nitrates. And here's the biochemical magic that allows us to circumvent cellular aging. These nitrates don't need your damaged endothelial cells or the lazy ENOS enzyme to convert into nitric oxide. In contrast, when you consume these concentrated nitrates, they travel to your mouth, where specific, beneficial bacteria living on your tongue reduce them to nitrites. These nitrites travel to the stomach and, under acidic conditions, are rapidly converted into bioavailable nitric oxide. This is a metabolic shortcut that the body keeps active even when the main L-arginine pathway fails completely. This is the key to the rapid restoration of blood flow. Imagine the case of Javier, a 68-year-old patient of mine. Javier considered himself healthy because he walked every day, but he suffered from constant brain fog and physical exhaustion that forced him to take mandatory naps after lunch. 2 hours after incorporating a concentrated dose of these natural nitrates into his routine, the difference was so marked that he called me, thinking it was a placebo effect. His blood pressure, which used to fluctuate, stabilized quickly, but what impressed him most was a mental clarity and sustained energy he hadn't experienced in a decade. It wasn't a trick. It was the beetroot powder acting as a natural biological diluent, allowing oxygen and nutrients to flow efficiently to his brain and muscles for the first time in years. It's real-time repair of vascular communication. And don't think the effect is only on physical endurance or long-term cardiovascular health. One of the most immediate benefits my patients report is improved sleep quality. Why? Because when blood flow is optimized, the brain can enter and remain longer in the deep sleep phase, the phase that truly restores the body and consolidates memory. We're talking about a systemic impact that begins simply with the reactivation of nitric oxide. But here's the challenge, and it's crucial that you understand this. Nitric oxide is wonderfully potent, but it's also incredibly volatile. It's a molecule that does its job and then disappears in a matter of seconds, degraded by the oxidative stress that's inevitable in the body. If we produce more NO with beets but do nothing to protect it, it's like building a vital infrastructure without a safety system. The damage from free radicals will quickly destroy it. This is where our second essential ingredient comes in, which I call the protector, the pomegranate, or Roma. Pomegranate does not produce nitric oxide directly. Its function is much more strategic and indirect, but absolutely vital. It acts as nitric oxide's personal bodyguard, protecting it from the oxidative attack that attempts to neutralize it before it can fully dilate your arteries. It achieves this thanks to its unique and highly concentrated phytochemicals, especially punicalagins and ellagic acid. When we talk about vascular health, we need antioxidants that not only neutralize generic free radicals, but specifically protect the delicate NO molecule in the endothelium. The punicolagens in pomegranate are by far the most potent antioxidants known for this specific task. They are absorbed and metabolized by the body in a way that maximizes the duration of nitric oxide's action. Think about the difference this makes. With beetroot, you get a peak of dilation and improved flow. With pomegranate, you extend the plateau of that dilation, maintaining optimal flow for hours instead of minutes. This is critical not only for endurance and recovery, but for the entire hormonal system. When blood flow is poor and chronic, the body enters a conservation mode. Key hormones, such as testosterone, depend on a constant and robust supply of oxygen and nutrients to be efficiently produced in the testes by the Leydig cells. If the arteries are choked by oxidative stress, this signal is disrupted and production slows. By protecting nitric oxide, no. Pomegranate ensures that the vascular ecosystem of your reproductive organs remains open, allowing natural hormone production to thrive unimpeded. I remember the case of Roberto, 55, who had tried supplementing with arginine and reported minimal improvements. I asked him, "What's the point of building the bridge if you allow it to be bombed immediately?" By incorporating concentrated pomegranate into his protocol, his vascular resistance improved dramatically. He not only noticed an energy boost, but his blood tests 6 weeks later showed a substantial improvement in his free testosterone levels. Not because pomegranate is a direct hormonal stimulant, but because it repaired the ecosystem that is essential for his own internal hormone factory to operate at full capacity, without the impediment of chronic oxidative stress. It's nature's intelligence acting as a molecular shield. If pomegranate is the protective shield against oxidative damage, we now need the engine that guarantees a constant and efficient production of nitric oxide, what we call the fuel. This is where our third essential ingredient comes in, L-citrulline, an amino acid found naturally in high concentrations in watermelon. Many men have tried supplementing directly with L-arginine, the direct precursor to nitric oxide, NO, and have reported inconsistent or disappointing results. This isn't a flaw in the concept, but rather a failure in delivery. Arginine, while vital, is metabolized very quickly by the digestive system and liver, a phenomenon known as the first-pass effect. In practice, very little of what you ingest as arginine actually reaches the endothelial cells, which are the source of nitric oxide production, the enzyme enos. It's like trying to deliver an essential package across a city where half the streets are blocked. L-citrulline brilliantly solves this logistical dilemma. Citrulline is a stealth molecule. It travels through the bloodstream undetected and undegraded by the liver. Once it reaches the kidneys, it is slowly and in a controlled manner converted into L-arginine. This newly synthesized, clean, and ready-to-use arginine is released directly into the bloodstream, where endothelial cells readily take it up. This ensures two crucial things. First, a sustained elevation of plasma arginine levels, lasting much longer than if you were to take arginine alone. Second, it prioritizes the activation of the second, more efficient and longer-lasting nitric oxide, NO, production pathway, guaranteeing a constant supply to maintain the elasticity and responsiveness of your arteries. Think of citrulline as nature's sustained release mechanism. It allows your vascular system to maintain that dynamic and flexible openness for hours, which is the foundation not only for robust firmness, but also for overall cardiovascular health and stamina that you feel in every aspect of your daily life. It's the difference between a brief energy spike and a deep reserve that remains active and ready to respond. I recall the case of David, an amateur marathon runner who was also looking to improve his sexual performance. He used arginine before running, but felt the effect faded halfway through. We switched to citrulline, and within 2 weeks, he not only reported significantly greater stamina in his workouts, but the improvement in the quality of his erections was remarkable and consistent throughout the day. This underscores that we are optimizing function, not just providing a one-off stimulus. We are restoring the body's intrinsic ability to regulate its own blood flow on demand. Citrulline is, in essence, the master optimization of vascular fuel delivery. Now that we've optimized no delivery with citrulline, We need to address the component that ensures that nitric oxide is used as efficiently as possible. This is the role of the fourth ingredient, Casca de Pinheiro extract, standardized to contain a high concentration of pycnogenol. I like to call it the mechanic of the vascular system, or the silent amplifier. Its function is critical, because the mere presence of NO doesn't guarantee a robust erection if the pipes are damaged. Over time, due to oxidative stress, age, or lifestyle habits, endothelial cells, the delicate inner lining of your arteries, become rigid, sluggish, and less sensitive to dilation signals. It's as if your car's engine has become clogged with soot. No matter how much premium gasoline you put in it, it won't perform at its best. Pycnogenol comes into play to cleanse and repair that engine. This powerful extract has been scientifically proven to have a fundamental dual action. First, it acts as a direct cellular rejuvenator. It repairs damage to the endothelium, allowing these cells to produce their own nitric oxide more effectively and, crucially, to respond better to the NO that is already circulating, thanks to citrulline. It is restoring your arteries' innate ability to be dynamic. Second, and here's where its magic as an amplifier lies, it works to restore flexibility to hardened arteries. Think of a garden hose that's been in the sun for 10 years. It's hard and cracked, unable to expand. Hardened arteries suffer a similar effect. Pycnogenol partially reverses that arterial stiffness, allowing the artery to dilate fully and without resistance upon receiving the nitric oxide signal. This not only improves erectile firmness and response, but also dramatically optimizes overall cardiovascular health, as increased arterial flexibility reduces the strain on the heart. It's the ultimate synergy. We give you high-quality fuel, citrulline, and repair the road, pycnogenol, so the traffic, blood flow, is seamless. We have seen in clinical studies that the combination of L-citrulline and pycnogenol works significantly better than either ingredient alone. Pycnogenol takes the boost from the nitric oxide we have created and amplifies it, ensuring that the "open the way" message is received and executed flawlessly by the arterial cells. This amplifying effect is due to pycnogenol protecting nitric oxide from being prematurely destroyed by free radicals, allowing its vasodilatory effect to last much longer and be more intense. The impact on overall health is as vital as the impact on intimate function. By improving arterial elasticity, we are reducing the risk of major circulatory problems, making this ingredient a true pillar of vascular longevity. In summary, today we confirm that optimizing intimate function is intrinsically a pillar of vascular longevity. The synergy of L-citrulline as a source of nitric oxide and pycnogenol as a master repairer of arterial flexibility offers us a powerful and safe strategy to optimize blood flow and overall vitality. I'd love to know, which of these science-based strategies do you plan to incorporate into your routine first to start feeling that tangible difference in your well-being? Let me know in the comments. If you find value in this profound connection between science and health, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with those seeking a path to better circulatory health. As always, thank you for allowing me to be your guide on this journey toward a fuller and more robust life. Sending you a big hug, and I'll see you in the next analysis. I'm Dr. Elena Castillo.